Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We are at 12039 Hazeldale Avenue here in Oregon City. We're located to the right of the doorway. That's as you face the house from the street. That's how I describe everything. You've got a 4-inch ABS clean out here that sits pretty much right at ground level. The cap was exposed, so you should be able to hunt it down. Anyway, we're going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Water is running. We're going to zero the foot counter out at the base of the clean out. You're going the wrong way there for a second. At the end, when the line's fully drained, I'll flip the camera around and go the other direction. Alright, off we go here. We've definitely got some debris in the line. I noticed just running the camera back there about 2 feet. When I looked back into the clean out, the amount of junk that broke loose was amazing. I'm very likely to recommend some cleaning on this line. There's a bit of grease buildup in it and debris. And most of that is related to the grease. From cooking oil, fats in general going down the kitchen sink. You can see those thick ridges in the flow line. Creates for sticky conditions, and then your toilet paper and everything else that comes down line gets hung up in it and stuck to it. And it builds and builds and builds over time. So it doesn't necessarily... at the level it's at right now, out here you're getting fairly thick. It doesn't always cause blockages on its own, but what it is often doing is contributing to one forming. Where your kids ball up some toilet paper, and then those balls of toilet paper get hung up in the grease, then you get a pretty stubborn blockage that doesn't want to break loose. So, and you've got that level of thick grease buildup end to end here. So we'll get a nicer view of that as we come out here, but I'm going to recommend some cleaning on the line to get that debris out, and then once it's cleaned out, you can mitigate the buildup entirely. You just have to build the habit into your life not to put it down the line. So, and if I didn't mention it, we swapped over to 3034 PVC pipe there a moment ago. I'll point out that transition as we come back. We're going to go locate really quick while the line drains. Alright, just located the camera head successfully. Line terminates out on Hazeldale Avenue. And the line here runs relatively straight out to the street. And I apologize, I don't have my auto leveling camera today that normally flips the image over. But right now the camera is upside down, and that water you're seeing there is flowing. That's dishwasher may have just turned on. That right there is where the line transitions over from 4-inch ABS to 4-inch 3034 PVC. Oh yeah, there's enough grease in here. I would like to see the line cleared out. Like I was saying before, it's not, the line is still a functioning sewer line, but that grease does indeed make the line more prone to blocking, and especially getting blockages that are stubborn. Blockages happen more often than people realize. What I've come to find over the years doing this, the amount of times I can see blockage evidence in a sewer line where I can tell the line blocked, water built up for 2 feet behind the blockage, and that was enough to break it loose, especially as it relates to toilet paper and proper items. When you get grease buildup, it acts like glue, and so that same blockage that would otherwise break loose on its own under a little bit of head pressure can now withstand considerably more water building up behind it, so it just makes it more likely a run-of-the-mill toilet paper blockage your kids create will turn into a full-on sewer event. And we're going backwards now. All the pipe from the clean out to the main lateral, all of it looks, the pipe itself looks great. It certainly has a bit of grease buildup in it, but structurally the line looks very good. So, and the grease is getting thicker as we go back into here. So you've got, those ridges are, oh, ½ inch tall at least. Once the grease is cleared out, rule of thumb I tell most people, if you've got enough grease or oil on your pans that when you turn them sideways, this is when the pan's hot or warm, if it runs off the pan in beads or worse, you want to do something about it. Let it cool down, wipe it out with a paper towel, or pour the grease into a jar. Back in here, your grease is much thicker than that. I mean, you're talking dang near inch thick. So this I highly recommend getting cleaned. And I'll make sure to notate on the report. Some folks come out and they just clear out the exterior. You want to make sure they're getting the interior on this one. The closer in your issues are and blockages are, the more likely they are to result in the backup. And again, going back to the head pressure reason, you block up 50 feet outside the house, you got a lot of leeway, and sometimes that water weight blows things through. When you block up 2 feet from a fixture inside your house, backup happens much faster. You don't get much leeway for head pressure to deal with things. So anyway, highly recommend that thing get clean there. And rescope to show the work. Make sure that the cleaners go both interior and exterior to get this puppy all cleared out. And then once it's clean, if you keep those habits in place, you know, wipe your pans out with a paper towel after they cool down, pour the grease into a jar, you can keep your line clean indefinitely. So anyway, aside from the grease, fantastic looking sewer line. No bellies, offset joints, any structural issues. Just needs a good thorough cleaning.